Guys, so I had mentioned in my quick where have I been video that I had been traveling, so I want to talk a little bit about that and how I travel with these headaches. The most important thing for me before leaving home is to make sure I have all my doctor's appointments in order and all my prescriptions filled and everything in one place ready to go. So what I normally do is I try to book my appointments a couple days before I'm leaving, and then refill all my prescriptions and have everything put in a Ziploc bag, and that's everything from Tylenol, Tylenol 3s, Gravol, Axert, and anything else like my iron tablets, my B complex tablets, and anything I think I may need while I'm out of the country. So, and then in my purse, I carry usually the Tylenol 1s with a couple of my Axert. So what I normally keep in my purse is a bottle of Tylenol 1s and a couple of my Axert, my migraine medication. Other than that, I put everything on my checked-in luggage. Now, on one of my trips this year, I took 3 trips out of the country. Once to India in February, at the end of February, beginning of March. Once my next trip was to Fiji, end of March, beginning of April, and then my 3rd trip was back to Fiji in June. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am of Fijian descent. My parents were born there. We had a little bit of a scare on my trip to June, and I was traveling with my aunt and my uncle and one of my cousins, and so my uncle had said to me before leaving, make sure you pack something for emergencies, like a pair of clothes in your carry-on. I have never done this before, but he scared me so good that I put a pair of clothes in my carry-on, and lo and behold, when we got to Fiji, my cousin's suitcase didn't arrive from LAX, and it was really hard. We were there for a wedding in her family, and so she ended up wearing all of my clothes and bought a couple of pairs just for the wedding while we were there. So that really taught me a lesson. Although this has never happened to me, my pills or my prescriptions always have my name on them, so it's really, they are safe to carry on, but I've always had a fear that they're going to be thrown away and then I'll be left without it. But now I have a greater fear of, what if my luggage doesn't get there and I'm left without it? So it shouldn't be a problem. Probably in my next trip I would put it in my carry-on. It has my name and all the information right on the packaging. So hopefully that's going to be my next, my plan of action for next time. Now, when I'm doing a road trip, usually that stuff is with me anyways. I don't keep it in my purse. I just put it in my duffel bag or whatever it is that I put my luggage in. So now the other thing I wanted to talk about is that's, how I get my prescriptions and stuff out of the way. The other thing I want to talk about is how I cope with my headaches while I'm not at home. When I am at home, I don't do a lot of socializing just because I don't have the energy. I have a couple of people who are very close in my circle who understand, and they kind of tone it down and bring it down to the level that I can tolerate sometimes. But other times it's just on my good days. We hang out, we have fun. Try to have a normal outing. Which is a little bit difficult for me because I really don't know what normal is. But, so while I am out of town, I do not leave these headaches behind. They come with me. Now the only time that I don't have headaches is when I'm in a plane, probably because of the air pressure in the cabin, which is great. I'm not going to complain because I don't have a headache for the plane ride. But when I get to my destination, I still suffer from the same headaches that I do here. They might change a little bit because of the atmosphere, what's the word I'm looking for? The air. India has very dry air. Same with here where I am. The air is a little bit drier, so the intensity or the feel of the headache is a little bit different. Whereas Fiji has moist air, there's a lot of humidity. And so the feel of the headache is different, but by no means at all do I leave these headaches behind. So while I was in India, I did see a neurologist. I really hesitated, but I did go see him. It was a little bit of a test too to see this doctor who deals with people who don't have an education, and that's not their fault, but they really don't know. They just go to a doctor, please fix me. So I had a chance to kind of test him out, and I gave him my symptoms. I didn't say anything about what I do here or who I see or my medication, and he came back to me with exactly what my 2 neurologists here have said and what my naturopathic doctor and what my family physician have said, that I have chronic migraines. And then I went into my treatment plan, and he also said there's only 2 options left, which is the Topamax and the Botox. He did give me a prescription for Topamax, which I said I discussed with my doctor here, and then he also mentioned that Botox is something that is very cheaply available where I was, but I'd have to be there for a longer period of time so they can monitor it. That wasn't an option. I don't know how I would have felt about that, but while I was in India, for the most part, I didn't have a headache when I woke up in the morning. And when I say didn't, I mean it's not, you know, from 10 to 20 on the scale of 1 to 10. It was maybe a 5. So when I'm on a 5, I'm okay. I'm on a 5. Well, I was on a 5 yesterday. I'm okay today. Nothing crazy. So I'd be able to get things done during the day, and I knew around what time my headache started, usually at night, and there were days where, there was I think 1 or 2 days in the 3 weeks that I was there that I was in bed with a headache. And it concerns people who don't actually know what's going on or who don't understand it. So I was pushed to go see the neurologist, and I said, why not get a third opinion, right? And so that was that. And then I headed back home, and then within 2 weeks I was back on a plane to Fiji. Same thing there. When I got to Fiji, I had headaches. It was not as bad, probably because of the humidity. It was not that bad. And so I was able to enjoy Fiji more, although there was a flood, the second flood of the year, and it was quite devastating for the people involved. I was on higher ground, and we weren't really affected, just high winds. It was actually a cyclone passing through, which was a little bit scary, but we made it out okay. I was asked to, or I don't believe anybody asked me to go see a doctor there because it wasn't noticed. I mean, I had headaches, but it wasn't keeping me in bed. I think in the 2 weeks I was there, it was just one day I was feeling lousy, and I stayed in bed. And other than that, I was pretty okay. So then, when I came back here, I didn't know I was going back to Fiji. So I went back to my naturopathic doctor, and he said that he had been doing some research, and he had come across a treatment that he'd like to try on me. Now I'm going to make another video about that, so I'm going to go into that in my next video, but I did do that experimental treatment, which is why on my trip in June I was there for 3 weeks, and I had a headache the last couple of days that I was in Fiji because my treatment was wearing off. So besides that, that's how I handle, you know, while I'm in these destinations. My Tylenol ones I keep with me all the time. In my purse, wherever I go, if I go into town, if I go to visit family, if I'm just going to eat, my Tylenol ones are always in my purse. Everything is at home. When I'm doing a road trip, it's a little bit harder because I'm still staying on the West Coast and the air is the same, and I really think the intensity of my headaches is linked to the I can't even think of the word. I'm sure you know what I mean. So when I go down to California, the intensity of the headaches are the same, and I go there as a getaway from here with the, you know, life in general. Yeah, I do have family there, so they are pretty understanding. I go see my cousin, and it's the same thing. I have my good days and I have my bad days, and I don't go out as much because I've been doing it for so many years, going to California every year. It's not something that I go to and be a tourist at unless I'm having a great day and I'm bored. Then I push them out the door, and we went to San Francisco Wharf and the pier, sorry, and have a great time. But I generally handle it the same as here. If I've got a headache and I'm in bed, then I'm in bed. Otherwise, if I feel like I want to do something today and I don't want to be stuck in bed, I take painkillers. That is something I don't do often, but sometimes when I'm on a trip and I really, really want to be into it, I do rely on my painkillers more. I really hope. Oh, the other thing is my anti-nausea bracelets. I keep those with me all the time, whether it's here, it's somewhere else. I have one set will be in my pocket, the other set will be in my luggage, and the third set will be in my purse. I don't leave home without it because during the day, if I don't have to take a Gravol, those work wonders. Other than that, I think I've covered everything with how I travel. I do get nervous before traveling. I just don't want to have to deal with these headaches. I don't know how my body's going to react when I'm in a different place. It's just something that I go through, getting nervous and getting over that eventually, because when I get to where I am, I'm loving every moment of it. So I hope that helps a little bit for people who want to travel or have medication all over the place. I find a Ziploc bag helps the best because I can see everything. It's all in one place and easily accessible. And yeah. So if you have any questions or comments, or I'm hoping I didn't leave anything out. I've tried to film this video a few times and I wasn't happy with it. So I'm trying this again today, and I hope this makes it onto YouTube. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave it down below and I will answer them. So thank you all for listening, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye!